Oh my god. Huh? Where's the chapter 4 video? Dude, I'm gonna work on it, okay? I just got in the elevator crash. I'm gonna do it. Trust me, man. Oh, work on it now! I will. Just give me like a week or two to like, yeah, but Jesus, how long have I been out for? You went without making a video for a month! Ever since the elevator crash, you've been out for 2 months! Get ready to work on it now! Alright. God. Ow. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night from whatever time zone you're watching this at. This is Bendy Land 32, and today we're going to be talking about Bendy Machine Chapter 4. As always, remember to comment, like, and subscribe in order to hit our goal of 200 subscriber goal this time? I don't know. But yeah, today we're going to be discussing some behind-the-scenes stuff of Bendy Machine Chapter 4 and just a general plot synopsis of the chapter. And if you enjoy this video, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the video while I take this extremely hot sweater off because it is summertime and oh my god, it is hot. Based on some news coverage that I've read, just like Bendy Machine Chapter 3, Mike and the team were crunching to get this chapter out by April, and also crunching to get the PAX demo ready, which, by itself, the 2018 PAX demo isn't really anything special. You only get up to the R&D room part of the chapter, and once you hit the switch, Bendy just kills you, demo is done. So, not really anything special there, but I do think eventually I'm gonna make a video covering all the PAX demos for Bendy Machine, but like, I don't know. Save features and implementing 2 boss fights are an absolute pain to bug test and get working properly, and since saving was also an issue with Chapter 3 by the time that chapter released as well. Absolute painful crunching and a bunch of painful testing, all with only 7 people on the team. The interview that I read said that Mike could have afforded more people, but he wanted to keep the team small as to not have any more issues rise with a much more bigger team. So that's commendable at least, but like, I digress. Another small thing that I want to mention before we fully get into the chapter is the way that Mike describes the 2 new characters that are going to be revealed in this chapter, and those 2 being Allison and Tom. He described them as being creepy as fuck. I didn't add in the fuck, that's him. But like, Tom and Allison. Really? I mean, maybe he's not referring to them, but like, they're also the only 2 new characters added in. I mean, he could be referring to Bertram, but like, that's 1 character.
Chill, Chad, I'm your protector.
Funnily enough, for a chapter called Colossal Wonders, the entire chapter was only going to take place in 1 small warehouse, but they decided to go much more bigger with that. I will bitch about it later, but they wanted to go for an entire 1920s Coney Island aesthetic, with carnival games and funny little mascots that are not scary at all. Obviously, though, these bendy puppets that you see during the entire amusement park section in Chapter 4 used to like seriously creep me out. Because like, my god, that smile and those eyes, that's just stuck in my mind forever, looking like some fucking abandoned by Disney motherfuckers. Just like Love, Death, and Taxes, we have to get over it and actually talk about the actual chapter. And why did I say actually twice? I am very terrible at speaking. I'm so sorry. Why do I have 159 subscribers? Oh my god, I'm terrible. Open to Henry having a little remembrance of the words I said earlier on in Chapter 1.
Alright, Joey. I'm here. Let's see if we can find what you wanted me to see.
before waking up after the elevator crash. We press on, and just like everywhere else in the studio, there is a locked door that we need to find a way to unlock. So we go into another room to unlock the door. Hey, look at that crazy writing on the walls, but it's way more different than last time. This time it's way more scribbly and it's yelling about tax. Also, small little audio log here, so let's take a listen to that. So I want to talk about the implications of this. I want to talk about it in the moment. It seems that it implies that whoever was recording this was actively turning into a searcher, which to me implies that Joey was putting people into the ink machine while the entire studio was still fully up and running and operating. And it also implies to me that like the ink has some sort of weird mutation where it doesn't consume you entirely until like some random point, like later on after you either touch it or get drowned in it. I don't know, but I mean, judging by the thousands of, I'm terrible with wording things. Judging by the mass amounts of mentions of the pipes always bursting and people constantly like swimming in the ink or just getting hit by some, I would think that getting hit by the ink, it would eventually go away for a little bit, but then just out of nowhere, it would just suddenly consume you, like what happens in this audio log. But like, I don't know. I'm not a game theorist. I'm not crazy enough for that. I'm only mildly crazy to start a YouTube channel without being able to speak properly.
They could have at least given me a weapon.
Man, Joey Drew doesn't even take proper care of his employees anymore. He just looks at you like this. We walk into a giant library full of a bunch of books and audio log from Susie Campbell, who we haven't.
They told me I was perfect for the role. Absolutely perfect. Now Joey's going around saying things behind closed doors. I can always tell. Now he wants to meet again tomorrow. Says he has an opportunity for me. I'll hear him out. But if that smooth talker thinks he can double-cross an angel and get away with it, well, oh, he's got another thing coming. Alice? Ooh, she doesn't like liars.
Apparently, some shit is going down, and Joey has been saying some stuff behind her back, and Joey wants to see her again for like another lunchtime or whatever. I really like how Susie talks about Alice here as if like she knows Alice personally. Like, oh, Alice, she doesn't like liars. Like, whoa, man, did you have lunch with her? Do you know her personally? Did you create the character? No, she's just crazy. So we press the final book in the library, and then Henry just starts tweaking the fuck out. Like the lights just get immediately brighter. Everything just starts screaming at him, and he's just very disoriented for a minute, and then it just goes away like that. Okay, sure, whatever that means. I mean, I take this as an implication of Henry just descending more and more into madness as he dives deeper and deeper into the studio, because like this kind of stuff just doesn't happen randomly to a completely sane person. This only happens when you're messing with ink creatures and you just have to live with that reality now. After just tweaking out randomly, we open this massive door, and this is what I mentioned when I was gonna bitch. Why? Just why? Why is there just a giant bombless pit in the animation studio? Furthermore, why does it look like we're in a giant cave? I know that like we're going deeper and deeper into the studio, but like why?
Security system takes control of Squidward's house and begins attacking the city, leaving them.
Like it's level S, right? It implies that like it's built. Like there's rooms, it's built. You don't see like the empty caverns, but no, there's just a giant random cave out here. Nothing but a bottomless pit down below, and just a bunch of cages just hanging around in the air. Why would you need this for an animation studio? I don't know, but like, why is this here? What? I don't get it, man. I just don't. So we find out that there's this boat that we need to use, like just float across the other side of this giant cavern. So we go into another room to find this little ink blot, which will be very important later, and put it into these little gent mini ink machines that are kind of like ink machines, but they're very small, less powerful. If that makes any sense. We put that cog into the machine. We go after a little scary Faco cutscene, and we walk through a hallway, and then we just start tweaking out again for no reason, with just a bunch of arms just trying to grab at Henry through the wall. And it's like, why is this happening? It's probably because Henry just keeps on going more and more insane, and like it just keeps on getting worse by the minute. But like something that bothers me a little bit is that after after that hallway section, this just never happens again. At least in my memory, like this just it just stops there. Like, why? I don't get. There's this giant stairwell there that we have to go up, and then Alice over the intercom is like, "Oh, I have Boris. Come and get him, or else I'm gonna kill him." So yeah, that's good to know that she didn't. That at least she didn't just immediately. And eventually, we find ourselves in this nice little break room space of sorts, or like a little hangout area. And then we see like this weird little ink creature guy who can speak English somehow. I don't know what that's about, but like that's a thing. And then we open this door, and it's like, oh, there's more of them. They multiplied. So this is our introduction to the lost ones, people that used to be people, but now they're not. People who were too lucky to not be another cartoon nightmare, but also not lucky enough to escape the ink. This room seems like a little safe haven for them, with like scribblings on the wall talking about no angels, how it's time to believe. Hey, that's Sammy's line. Maybe Sammy Lawrence is their leader, but how can that happen? He's dead. He's dead. But hey, you never know. Maybe this is one of Sammy's little disciples who joins in his cult of believing in the Ink Demon or whatever, and that's why they hate Alice so much, is because she's going directly against the Ink Demon. I think that's pretty cool. Small detail that I like is once when Henry goes into the vent to like further press on, if you out of just pure curiosity, just turn the camera around. You can find that like the lost ones are actually looking at him and blocking him from coming back out. It's either they see him as like a savior of some sorts, or they just 100% know that he's just not coming out of this alive. Also, events and oh Lord! That's right, the Ink Demon got another remodel, and this time he actually looks way better than how he looked previously. His body is more skeleton-like, and his spine is more pronounced and noticeable, same as like his rib cage. And the ink is just constantly running down his body like he's just a giant waterfall of ink. He's also got a few new animations now too, and like I like this design a lot. It's like my favorite Ink Demon design out of all of them because he actually looks very menacing, and it looks like he found the skeletons of a dead worker of some sorts, and he just consumed them into his body. And now he's just like, eh. Yeah, it's like my favorite Ink Demon design. I like it a lot. Yeah, there's also like a small little Easter egg where if you go down the wrong way, you'll only find just a lost one banging his head against the wall constantly. Yeah, me too, man. We then find ourselves in like a massive room with some ink text on the wall reading "Come find me" or whatever, with an even bigger Bendy statue just like off to the side, is kind of chilling there. By the way, I think it was like the second instance of like one of these large bendy statues just like being out there. I think it was in chapter 3 where we saw like a giant bendy statue just like kind of looming over everything in like the inky abyss of level 14. And like I I like the giant bendy statues a lot because it feels like really scary to just have just this giant towering cartoon demon is kind of smiling down at you. I don't know. I feel like it's a really cool visual. I like it. We walk up the stairs and it leads to a room with plans for a bendy amusement park creatively called Bendy Land. Yeah, Joey, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna get sued by Disney. So I'm guessing that this was just another one of Joey's plans for Bendy until the entire studio went bankrupt. And I'm also guessing that this is what caused the studio to go bankrupt to begin with. We also get to hear the voice of the man who is building his park for Joey, one Bertram Piedmont, a man who is apparently just so important that he's just pissed at the way that Joey just casually addressed him once when Joey was going to commission him to build the amusement park.
For 40 years, I've built attractions that stagger the imagination. Colossal wonders, such as the world has never seen. I have earned my legacy with sweat. But right in front of everyone, high-level investors, Wall Street tycoons, the ever-tactless Joey Drew introduces me, the great Bertram Piedmont, as Bertie, like I was his child. You may be paying me, Mr. Drew, but you don't own me. I'll build you a park, bigger than anything you could ever possibly conceive. But before you go taking any bows, Mr. Drew, know that this grand achievement will belong to me, and to me alone.
Apparently, the park was just going to be so massive and successful that Birdie is going to take full ownership of it or whatever. But it's probably nothing. Birdie is just probably just saying stuff to say stuff. I mean, like, how far could the Bendy Land got into development? Oh my goodness! So remember earlier when I said that Mike was gonna originally have the entire chapters take place in a giant warehouse? Well, here we are. We are now in the main hub where the rest of the chapter takes place. This giant warehouse that houses a bunch of old Bendy Land stuff that never fully got to see the light of day, full of carnival games, train stations, and a giant haunted house where Alice is keeping Boris in for some reason. Anyways, I'm gonna go on another ranting him because this is my video. I get to talk about what I want. I get to rant about. But yeah, back during April 14th, 414, Mike was giving out codes to all the Bendy games on Steam, and I thankfully got them all. So yeah, thanks, Mike. That was very nice of you. I plan to finally 100% Bendy Ink Machine this way, but like, oh my god, these carnival games, man. You have to like hit all the cannons and ball tossing and hit all the targets and shooting like very perfectly. You don't get the chance to mess up once. And even with like the lowest sensitivity on my mouse, I cannot for living daylights do it. It's like masterful gambit, Mike. Masterful gambit. I'm seething with rage because it is one of like 2 chapter 4 achievements I'm missing. The other one being the bacon soup achievement, even though I could have sworn I did grab them all. I grabbed all those bacon soup cans. I grabbed them. What do you mean? I didn't get the achievement for it, Steve?
Back at it again, an ink machine.
New main objective now is to hit all the switches in order to unlock the haunted house and save Boris from the clutches of Alice Angel. The first switch is nothing to really write home about since you literally just play the carnival games I bitched about earlier, and then there you go, you get your first free level. The real gameplay comes in is when we're tasked with trying to avoid the butcher gang in the R&D room. We use these empty bacon soup cans to distract them or just thundercut them directly at their heads and just give yourself away. I like throwing the cans at their heads because it's just really funny. Okay, I like throwing things at people. I should do that more often. And this where the area where we get the switch, it's surrounded by, or it's in a room that houses one dismantled, half-finished Bendy animatronic. Most likely the first way that Joey would have thought of bringing the characters to life, because in the Bendy Lone Wolf, in that game, there's also the existence of an Alice Angel animatronic and a Boris animatronic. So, yeah. The second switch is in a room with like a giant carousel swing ride, which just doesn't really seem too bad. But there's an audio log from Birdie, so let's take a listen.
The biggest park ever built. A centerfold of attractions. Each one more grand than the one before it. It makes my eyes come to tears at the thought. But then, oh, Mr. Drew, for all your talk of dreams, you are the true architect behind so many nightmares. I built this park. It was to be a masterpiece, my masterpiece. And now you think you can just throw me out? Trample me to the dust and forget me? No! This is my park, my glory. You may think I'm gone, but I'm still here.
So Birdie is pretty much mad at Joey because they couldn't afford to actually build the amusement park. And oh my god, the carousel is alive and it has Bertram's face on it for some reason. I don't. To this day, I still don't get it because, like, I mean, I understand most of the ink creatures. You know, you toss worker into the ink machine. The ink machine roars for a minute, and then out comes like a messed up. I was gonna name one of the Butcher Gang members, but I forgot. But one of those guys, and then there they go. But like, what? How did this happen? Why is there just giant Bertram head just inside his carousel? How is this possible? I don't know, and I'm scared. Whatever. We get like the last. We we defeat Bertram with the power of the axe. That's what I was gonna say. And we hit the switch, and then we move on. But like, my God, this is something that has been bugging me a lot. But like, I really wish Henry had more voice lines because I really wish he reacted more to what was happening to him. Because how can you stay dead silent when you're fighting a giant carousel? I know this is like the fourth chapter and you'd be used to like now, but like not even a what the hell? Like not. Why are you just dead silent, Henry? Come on, white boy, say something. Final switch is located in the Buddy Boris Railway. And hey, it's a projectionist, even though we gunned him down last chapter. And he's back? Sure. Whatever. We actually go into the room and we just have to, like, do a stealth mission around a projectionist to not get caught. And there's two giant trains in the room. I like the design of the trains. I think they're really funny, but like also knowing how Joey is really stingy with money, especially by the time Bendy Land would have been built, or at least was in active development, those trains would have just went off the rails and crashed immediately. I'm sorry, but like Joey, it is a really stupid decision to just decide to build a whole amusement park right when the studio is starting to go under. Like, you do not have that funds, man. You do not have that Walt Disney emotion. A small detail is all the hearts that we gave to Alice in the last chapter are just here on this crate in this room. Like, it's pretty cool callback, but like, also, you made me collect all those fucking things and you don't even use them. What the hell, Alice? I thought I could trust you. Once again, audio log from Joey Drew, who seems to be recording a motivational speech for like a walking tour or whatever. But Joey is just so fake, and he's just doing this for a paycheck. He don't even want this. And I also another thing I like is I really like the way that Joey yells "damn it" in this audio log because it reminds me of like J. Jonah Jameson and like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy for some reason. I don't know. It's really funny. I like it a lot. That's my fan cast for the Bendy movie. J. Jonah Jameson as the Joey True.
I believe there's something special in all of us. With true inner strength, you can conquer even your biggest challenges. You just have to believe in yourself and remain honest, motivated, and above all, who you really are. Okay, let's stop right there. I can only do so many takes of this trashy day. And tell the guys in writing I want more use of the word dreaming in every message. Keep railing on that, okay? Dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. People just eat up that kind of slop. What? Still on? Well, turn it off, damn it!
He and Lars switch. The entire room goes dark. The projectionist is gone somehow, so we just walk up back the stairs, and then you gotta like run, and hide into the miracle station. But oh, he can see us. So like we're gonna die. We're gonna die.
And his name is.
My God, Bendy goes in with the right hook, and projections tries to go for the low blow, but like, oh my God, Bendy just rips fucking head. Oh my God, there goes the projection. Oh, that. Comment down below. Comment down below which one's more brutal: getting brutally gunned down or getting your head ripped. And then after ripping his head just clean off, Bendy just kind of strolls away with the projectionist's body. And Henry doesn't say a damn word about it. Please, for the love of God, Henry, I need you to react to some of these things. I know that you're like 4 years old and you're dead inside, but like, come on. Anyways, all the switches flipped and Norman dying for the second fucking time. We get to see Boris now. We get to save you, buddy. We can save him now, yeah. We go into the haunted house, and Alice gives us another boring monologue, and then we go into this giant room full of props, and more props, and weirdly good paintings. I like them. I think they look pretty. We go through another set of doors, and Boris. Boris.
Boris! Oh no, what has she done to you?
Yeah, instead of the Boris that we all know and love, he's gone. Alice lied to us for like the 15th time. He's gone. You're never gonna be able to save him. One saving grace is terrible tragedy. I like his design because he looks like a very Frankenstein's monster-esque kind of creature, and I like it a lot, especially with like his exposed ribcage and everything, and like how much more of like a big, bulky, muscular guy he is. And I like the whole theming of this boss fight because it's really funnily on the nose. Because like, ooh, haunted house was like a bunch of like Frankenstein's monster ass props with an actual Frankenstein monster right here. It's really cool. I like it. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to like fight him to death now, and we have to kill him.
She maced Windu!
I'm the product of an audience!
So I'm also gonna start complaining again here. Henry is just way too slow for a boss fight like this, since like Brute Boris is like constantly charging and running at you, and is also like jumping up and like trying to crush you. Like he is way too slow for any of this, and like it's not that easy to die, but it's still pretty annoying when like you try to run away and you still get hit anyways. But like I don't know, that's probably just on me because like my computer is not really the greatest with running games like this, so and like the game kind of crashed on me after I died to Brute Boris for like the second time, I think. So that was very fun to deal with. Yeah, so I died during the chapter 4 fight with Boris, and yeah, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Help! Like, oh, oh, oh. Okay, that broke too. That's awesome. Fuck. Okay, we fixed it. We just had to press the Windows button, but we're so back. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm gonna land the final blow on him. And watch the life fade from his stitched over eyes and melts in the ink. And then, oh my god, Henry, look out. Look, oh wait, Alice is just immediately charging right at us. He has had enough of this, and now she's just gonna, let's just kill Henry with his bare hands now. Oh god. And then Alice gets stabbed by another Alice, who's paired up with another Boris as well. What? Ladies, gents, mostly gents. I doubt that any woman watches this, but if you do, you're pretty cool. But back to the fucking point. This is our first interaction with Allison and Tom. The creepy as fuck characters Mike was referring to earlier, I guess. Since like two characters, I'm just kind of assuming that like he's talking about like Allison and Tom, but like whatever. Um, right now in this current chapter, we don't really know much about them, so there's not really nothing much to talk about. But what I do want to touch on is the names that they were given during development. Both of them having the names of other Alice and other Boris, which I think would be pretty cool and pretty funny. Allison looks fine. She looks like how she does in the final game, but Tom is like way vastly different purely because they didn't. I mean, I'm guessing by the time that they were modeling the body for Tom, they didn't like have a fully made head sculpt for him yet, so they just put on Boris's head on Tom's body, and I don't know. I just think just look at this. That just looks really funny to me. Yeah, yeah, that's the last of it for this video. Comment, like, subscribe as always, and most importantly, subscribe and turn that notification bell on so that you don't miss our chapter 5 video, which is probably not going to come out in August, judging by a track record of my upload schedule now, which is absolute dog shit. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time